Okay. Thank you, Chris, and thanks for joining everybody. Good morning and good afternoon. I am just going to go through the first gratuitous slide here, which is basically our non-disclosure agreement. So there could be some things on this call that are confidential, so we ask you to keep that to yourselves, and it's basically what happens on the call stays on the call. So thanks again for being here. So a little bit about me for those of you who don't know me. I have about 20 years of channel experience in the industry. This spans across the entire partner ecosystem in roles such as sales programs, marketing, and enablement. So I've been with Brocade for a number of years, and I'm really, really happy and excited to be leading up the Ruckus business for their partner programs. Just a quick business update for you all. I know there's been a lot of things going on with regards to the various acquisitions, so I want to clear the air. On October 3rd, Brocade and Broadcom refiled their joint voluntary notice to CFIUS. We expect that that is going to be another 45 days, which should take us to the end of November. I will tell you that Eris is still fully intending to acquire the Ruckus wired and wireless business. So that plan remains intact. Extreme Networks is acquiring the data center business from Brocade, and that's moving forward as planned. So that should be taking place before the end of our fiscal year. And then finally, Ruckus remains a business unit for both wired and wireless. So for those of you who are familiar with the Brocade business, it's the campus portfolio and, of course, the Ruckus portfolio for wireless. So the plan is that that program will launch Q1 of FY17, or FY18 rather, and that will kick off on October 29th. So all of those plans remain intact. Ruckus is really the partner networking company. That's what we'd like to be known as. For those of you who have been partnering with us for some time, you'll know that our business is 100% committed to the channel. We haven't wavered on that. And we will continue to support that going forward. We have worked very closely with our partners to provide very close engagement with our sales and marketing teams, as well as our technical teams. And as a matter of fact, over the last year, we've made a 3+ investment on the investments that we've made around our partner programs, as well as our field engagement. So we've added a lot more folks in the field supporting you from a sales and technical perspective. From a technology perspective, you're likely very familiar with the quality of the Ruckus portfolio when we've added roughly 40 new products over this past year. We continue to be focused primarily in our verticals, which are hospitality and MDU. We have a heavy focus on education and E-rate, as well as focusing on our smart cities and large venues. So those are areas where we have demonstrated success, and we continue to make investments there for you and your business so that you can further articulate your value proposition to your customers. And then what you'll learn about here on this call is more about the profitability that you can enjoy as part of our partner program. So as I said, this will be kicking off effective the 29th. Our vision is to continue to provide you with the best technology for you and for your customers. We also want to be the trusted advisor for you, so having that mutual trust in our relationship, and this comes with making sure that we have that joint sales enablement, so we're not going in with you, with your customers, and competing for that business. Our goal is to make sure that we have the best training in place for you to enable you to be the most successful for your customer experience, and not going in and trying to do anything direct. Also, we want to make sure that the partner program that we have in place for you is making you profitable, motivated, loyal to our business, and ultimately that we're both experiencing growth. And then finally, one of the areas that is extremely key to us this year is making it easier for you to do business with us. Over the past year, with all of the acquisition activity that's been going on, we recognize that this hasn't been an easy way for you to work with us, and so that is going to be a major focus for us over the next year. So the partner program has changed a little bit. If you were partnering with us on the Brocade side of the house, you're used to the Brocade Partner Network. And if you were partnering with us primarily for Ruckus, you remember the Big Dogs program. So what we've done is kind of combine the best of both of those programs into one single program, and that will be called Ruckus Ready. We have a program that is specifically for our authorized distributors. Distributors are critically important to our business as we have a two-tier model. There are a lot of partners out there, and we simply cannot even attempt to scale to accommodate everybody. So we really look to our distribution partners to help us with that effort. We have two levels as they pertain to the VAR business. One is our entry level, which is the select level partner. Basically, there is an authorization required to participate at a select level, and I'll talk a little bit more about what that means to you. And then for the top tier level, it's the elite partners, and so there's some specific requirements for that as well. And what we've attempted to do here is to simplify the program. So what you're going to see is only two levels. You're going to just see the select level and the elite level, and I'll talk about what happens to that mid-tier in a minute. Within the top tier level of the program, there are some specializations. You'll see that there's a familiar specialization in there with hospitality and MDU, and that was just recently renewed in this quarter. And then we've also added a Smart City Large Venue specialization, which actually launched in August. And then in Q1, we will be launching a higher ed specialization, some other ones that we are considering for the first quarter as well is around cloud Wi-Fi and our federal space. So let's talk a little bit about how those levels transition. So the distributors are pretty straightforward. If you're a distributor for Ruckus and Brocade today, you will continue to be a distributor with us. The top tier level is if you are an alpha dog or if you're an elite reseller, that means that you will transition to the elite level of the program, and you will receive the benefits that are within that level of the program. If you are either a top dog or a premier reseller, then you will transition by title to the elite status if you have done revenue with Ruckus and Brocade over the past 6 quarters. So if you've done any revenue with Brocade or Ruckus over the past 6 quarters, you will automatically receive the title of an elite partner. You will have 12 months to become compliant with that level. And so there's compliance in respect to the sales and technical certifications as well as a revenue requirement, which I'll talk about in a minute. If you have not done revenue with Brocade or Ruckus over the past 6 quarters, then you will go into the select level of partnership with us. That doesn't mean that you can't work your way up to elite. That just means that is the grandfathering, for lack of a better term, that we're doing today, and those are the respective levels that those partners will go into. If you are a premier or a top dog reseller today, and you're transitioning to the elite status, you're basically eligible for a lot of those elite benefits. However, you must be doing at least $500K of annual revenue or $200K in an emerging market of revenue to participate in the rebate program. If you are a select level today or you are at a big dogs level, that is the entry point today, and you will continue to have that status as a select partner in the ongoing program. Let's talk a little bit about the specialization. So as I mentioned, Hospitality MDU has been a legacy Ruckus program for a couple of years now, and it's for a select group of partners based on the engagement and the business with the field. Basically, this program is a one-year program which provides a certain level of discounting based on the SKUs, and then there are rebates for specific attainment in the hospitality MDU space for wireless. We have actually put some accelerators in place to sell across the portfolio for wired and wireless. So basically, if 20% of your rebate target was achieved by selling ICX, you can qualify for an additional 2 points. One of the other changes that we made this year is there was a minimum threshold of rebate attainment of $1 million, and we've reduced that to $500K. So this gives the opportunity for more partners to be able to participate in the program at lower thresholds. Smart City Large Venue is a new specialization that we have. Right now it's running in the US and EMEA, and as I said, that launched on August 1st. In order to participate in this program, partners have to have at least 2 large venue or smart city deployments that they've completed successfully, and then they also need to meet the training requirements of the elite status. Some of the things that those partners will be entitled to are proposal-based MDF, so that they can effectively promote their business to their customers. We will also be hosting an advisory council for these partners so that we can learn from what's going on in that business and better tailor our efforts and support to accommodate the partner and their customers. And then there's lead generation that Ruckus is driving to promote leads to those partners and giving them the opportunity to promote their brand within Ruckus and our sales organization to the end customer. We will be launching a higher ed program in Q1 as well. And so this is based on a percentage of your business that's primarily focused in the higher ed space. There will be proposal-based MDFs available for these partners. You will be eligible to participate in the rebate program, and then similarly to the Smart City Large Venue program, you'll be eligible for brand promotion and a lead preference based on campaigns that Ruckus is driving with the end user community. As I mentioned, we're looking to add 2 more here, one for federal partners and one for cloud as well. I'm not going to go into too much detail on this particular slide, but what I do want to focus on is the requirements that we have around, around the revenue. So that's something that is probably new for the partners that have been working with us on the Ruckus side. So we have $500K annual revenue requirement. We do have a caveat for emerging markets. So we know that there are partners that are in smaller markets, and we don't want to. We want to be able to provide them the opportunity to participate at the higher levels of the program. So there is an application for that, and you would work with your partner account manager to get nominated to participate at that level. So you'll see here, this pretty much runs the gamut of mostly a lot of the programs that are out there that I'm sure you're participating in today. We have sales training, technical certifications. There are contracts required at the elite level and the distributor level. Distributors must report their point of sale, and then we have, of course, a partner application and authorization process, which I'll cover in a second here. So the authorization, the model that we have is that partners need to be authorized in order to resell Ruckus technology, with the exception of our Unleashed products. So you apply for, you basically apply online in our portal, and then within 48 hours you'll receive a phone call from a inside sales representative who will ask a series of questions for qualifying you. Just making sure that your business is actually a legitimate business and that we're not over-distributed in one specific region. And then you have 120 days to procure demo equipment based on an option of kits for wired and wireless. And then you also have 120 days to complete your sales and technical training. All partners, which I would imagine all partners on this call, have some form of a relationship with Ruckus and Brocade at this point. So you would not be required to go through this process again. If you are already a partner of ours, you are automatically in the program for both wired and wireless and won't have to go through the authorization process. This is just for net new partners. Education. So you will be required to complete training on both the wired and wireless side of the business, regardless of whether you're only aligned to one portion of the business or not. So we want to make sure that you are able to sell across the portfolio. What that means is that you'll have to complete some technical certifications. Those are test out. In fact, all of these are test out trainings. So you'll have to be able to pass that test. For elite partners, we're asking that 2 folks within your organization are taking and passing the training. And then for the select partners, it's 1 person in the organization will have to take and pass the training. So in most of these cases, it's web-based training, so it's, you can basically take this at your leisure. We do still have on the technical side instructor-led training. Those will all be converted into web trainings effective January. So just a heads up on that. More information can be found online. In fact, all of these courses are available today for you to be able to get started on the sales and technical training. So you can find them, access to them both on the Ruckus portal as well as the MyBrocade portal. So as far as the benefits go for the program, I'm just going to take you through each of these versus going through the checklist here. So let's start with marketing funds. So the marketing development funds are really intended for you to be able to promote your value proposition and what you're driving with Ruckus to your end user community. So we do have MDF guidelines. For those of you who are participating today, those are not going to change. You are currently accessing the Incentive Center to participate. This is based on a platform called Perks with MDF loaded by a company called Birch. So, but to you, it's the Incentive Center. So basically what you do is you work with your PM and your marketing individual, put together a plan, and then you submit a prior approval in the platform. We will review that and approve it, and then you will go off, execute the activity, come back, submit a claim. We look to make sure that you've successfully completed the activity with your proof of performance, and then we approve that and that gets paid. One small change that you'll note is that we are going to a 50-50 split. So we expect that there's a shared investment in the activities that we're driving together, and so Ruckus will be paying 50% of the activity going forward. The demo equipment program is actually available today and is not expected to change. So all distributors and resellers are eligible to participate. You don't have to be an elite partner to participate in this program. It includes both wired and wireless. And basically, there's an 80% off MSRP discount to the distributor and 77% discount off MSRP to the VAR. And then if you're eligible for MDF, you can actually use MDF to cover the out-of-pocket expense that you have there. So essentially, you would be getting the equipment for free. The details here are that you can purchase up to 3 of any SKU per lab location, and that you cannot resell the products for a period of 6 months. So we ask that you keep those in your centers for 6 months before you put them out for sale. Deal registration. So given the recent news around the refiling of CFIUS, we are not going to be making any changes to the deal registration program until the acquisition is complete. So the way that it's being managed today, while not optimal, will continue during that period of time. So there's 2 ways that you can register deals. You can go into the Ruckus portal, or you can go into the MyBrocade portal, and you can register your deal, and that is managed by special discounts that we've communicated to through to distribution based on your participation level in the program. Going forward, the goal here is that we would have one single portal that you would access, and it would be through the classic Ruckus portal. There would be discounts for wired and wireless, but it will not vary based on your level of participation in the program. So if you have an opportunity, regardless of whether you're a select or an elite partner, we believe you should have the power to take down that deal. So you'll notice that the discounts will be reflected. You'll know exactly what you're going to get, and you'll be able to go and compete for that business. There will continue to be a minimum threshold for the qualified deals, and what we're also working through today is an expedited process so that if the deal registration happens to change, it doesn't have to go back for multiple approvals and take an extended period of time. We recognize that we need to make it easy for you to communicate to your customers what their discounts are going to be and get those approved as quickly as possible, especially for those smaller deals which are more transactional and need to be addressed quickly. The rebate program for the distributors is basically an MBO program. So there's 2 points eligible within this program, and the MBOs are focused on unleashed revenue growth. So we have some specific goals around driving that lower touch business of unleashed products, and so we've assigned those goals to our distribution partners, as well as cross-selling. So we know that there's 40% higher deal size when wired and wireless is sold together, and we have some great ROI information as well as technical information for why those products make sense to be sold together, and so we're encouraging our distributors to encourage the cross-sell between wired and wireless, and we're rewarding them for that. Also looking to distribution to help us with onboarding new partners, and so there's also goals in place for more of the distributor-managed initiatives that Ruckus is driving today. For the resellers, you probably won't notice too much of a difference if you're participating in the rebate program today. We're really not making any changes here. So this is for elite partners only, and basically there are quarterly targets that are put into place based on anticipated growth. So we will assign those to you through the Perks platform. You'll see what your attainment, there's basically an attainment letter that will show up in that platform letting you know what the growth achievement needs to be. And those are vetted with your PAMs to make sure that, you know, this is something that is achievable by your organization. The minimum revenue participation requirement to get a payout is $100K. So that is the lowest threshold that partners can get is $100K in order to get a rebate payout. And then for the emerging markets, that's $40K. You must achieve 100% of the goal in order to get the payout, and when you do, anywhere between 100% to 149%, that's a 2% rebate on the overall POS of your business. If it's 150 to 200% attainment, that's a 3% payout, and then the payout is actually capped at that 200%. Elite partners and distributors are also eligible for funded heads based on an approved business plan. So this is really to make sure that we've got the right representation for your business and for Ruckus represented within your organization to drive specific initiatives. And so there's an application for this. It's, as I said, based on a business plan that you would drive with your partner account manager or your distribution account manager. And then what we do is have quarterly reviews with the PAM or the DAM to make sure that the goals of that individual are being met. And then we can make adjustments based on, you know, if they're doing something that's working really well, these might be areas that we want to double down on, or if there are things that are slipping, we need to make sure that we're having a course correction in place and getting things back on track. These roles are only for sales and technical folks. There is an exception with some of our national partners to have folks that are specifically focused on the brand. And by the way, those are annual contracts. So for those of you who have funded heads in place today, those contracts are set to expire on 10/28. However, rest assured, we're issuing new contracts today that will be on Brocade paper and will be ready for assignment to the new acquiring organizations. One thing that has been missing over the past quarter but is going to kick up again in November is the Ruckus Rewards program. So there will be some very specific programs that are redeemable within this platform, and this is also under the Perks platform. This is for all partners, so all select level partners, and I should say it excludes distributors, unfortunately, but it's for the elite partners and the select partners to participate. There is proof of performance required on all of the claims, and the specific areas that we're focused on are E-rate, cloud Wi-Fi. We'll have a SPIF in there for cross-selling both the wired and wireless portfolio. Also some specific product accelerators, and then when you are actually working with new customers and bringing in new logos. So there'll be some pretty rich incentives in place for those specific initiatives. What we won't be doing is having a few points on every single product within the portfolio, which is something that you've likely seen in the past if you've participated in the rewards program. Also effective post-acquisition is the Ruckus portal. So we will be retaining the Ruckus look and feel. As I mentioned in the beginning, Ruckus remains a unique and separate business unit regardless of where our home is. So as we are still under Brocade, we are Ruckus. When we transition over to Eris, we will continue to be Ruckus. So fear not, the dog will live on, and all of the look and feel that you're accustomed to will continue as well. So when you get into the Ruckus Partner Portal, that will redirect you into the various elements of the partner program for participation. So you'll be able to get quickly into your MDF and see the funds that you have available. You can submit prior approvals and claims. You can pull reports. If you're eligible, you'll also be able to see the rebates, and you'll also be able to access the Ruckus Rewards programs and see all of the programs and SPIFs that are available to you. You'll also be able to do all of your deal registration within that portal. When you have leads that are coming from Ruckus, you'll be able to see those leads in there and be able to manage those leads through that portal. And then for your sales and technical trainings and certifications, those will all also be linking to there. So if you have a My Brocade login today, which I'm assuming most of you do, you will transition over to the Ruckus portal and simply have to reset your password. There will be a redirect from the Brocade portal that will take you over to the Ruckus portal. You'll reset your password, and then you'll receive all of the access that you're accustomed to, and then all of the tools that you'll be using. So we will have some training on that. We understand that this can be somewhat of a challenging transition, and so we want to make sure we're making it as easy as possible for you to work with us. So there will be training and materials available for you to navigate through the transition. We are alive and well, as I said. We will remain Ruckus, and we've been doing a lot to drive customer interest and get the brand out there. So there have been a lot of campaigns, materials, branding that have been created over the past few months to keep that spirit alive. So we've got everything from just campaigns to really focusing a lot on our verticals. So you'll see a lot of new case studies and materials available out there on things like hospitality, MDU, smart city. These are great case studies to be able to leverage with customers that you're working in those areas as well. So if you go out to the My Brocade portal or the Ruckus portal, you'll be able to see all of the new collateral and content that's being posted. So the call to action for all of you is to just get smart on Ruckus. As I said, we've got a lot of the training available today. So please, if you're on the website, go out there, take the wired and wireless portfolio training and start getting your certifications and your sales training compliance up to date. You can start that now. Also, work with your PAMs, your partner account managers, to understand more about the program. We have been educating our internal teams over the past couple of months now on what the new program looks like. So if you have any questions in the short term, please reach out to your partner account managers or your distribution account managers to get more information. And it's never too early to start building a plan for next year. So this fiscal year is wrapping up for us. So let's get started and start putting some plans in place for FY18. And then when you're out there working opportunities, or if you have questions, or if you need support from a sales and technical perspective, just engage with us early and often. I think if you understand the spirit of Ruckus, and based on the amount of people who are on this call, I know that you can appreciate that spirit. We'll do anything to help you win a deal. So if you've got an opportunity out there, get together with your account managers, and we will absolutely help you take down that business. With that, I'd like to be able to open it up for some questions. I'm sure we've been getting some in the chat window, so my team here will likely alert me to what's been coming in, so we can address some of them now.
Yes, Raylan, so I've heard that we got a lot of questions. We have a team that's been answering throughout the presentation, but there's a few larger questions that we can just probably bring up and reiterate at this point.
Okay.
So one of the things that I want to ask is, will Ruckus still be the brand once the Aris acquisition is final?
Yes, the plan is that Ruckus will continue to retain its brand, and we continue to retain the spirit of the Ruckus portfolio and the brand that we've been driving. So there's no chance that that dog is going to be going away.
That's great. So do I need to re-register in a new portal to participate after the acquisition?
No. The only thing that you will have to do is once we have migrated over to the Ruckus portal, as I mentioned, you'll have to reset your password. However, it's not our intention that you would have to now submit a new application and go through any sort of tedious process to participate. We want to make it as easy as possible for you to continue your partnership with Ruckus.
Okay. How do I know whether or not I am compliant in the program?
Right. So my team will begin sending out communications to both the partner account managers, distribution account managers, and to our partner contacts, letting them know their current level of compliance in the program and giving them sort of that countdown over the next 12 months of what they need to do in order to stay compliant in the program. So you will understand whether it's a revenue compliance issue or whether it's that you don't have updated sales and technical trainings. And by the way, we are keeping the 3-year recertification. So every 3 years, you will have to recertify. So if you just recertified last year, you've still got 2 more years to be compliant. All of the certifications that you have today will be grandfathered over, so you won't have to, if, for example, if you took the BIPA training as a Brocade partner, you won't have to go back and take the new version of that until your 3-year recertification is up.
Okay. Next question is, a new VAR, in order to become a select partner, need to complete both wired and wireless requirements along with intention only to sell wireless?
Yes.
Okay. So there's no option to only apply for the wireless side? Correct.
And you'll find that those trainings are they're self-paced and they're not extensive. So it's very important that, you know, when most folks are actually selling both, or they just may not be selling Ruckus today. So we want to make sure that there is a level of compliance with the partners that we've selected to participate at the select or the elite level.
Okay. Where can I go to get more information?
So there will be information posted on the program once the program launches, which is October 30th. That will be available both on the Ruckus portal as well as the My Brocade portal. So wherever you go, you should be able to get information. There will be program guides, presentations, and FAQs. So what's great about these calls, aside from just being able to give information, is that we get great information from you on questions that are top of mind, and we're able to incorporate those into our FAQ documents. So those will be available October 30th on both portals.
Okay. There's been a lot of questions asking about whether the presentation will be available, and the answer is yes. We will have the recording as well as the slides up on the partner portal, and we will also send it out in the follow-up email after the webinar, so please stay tuned for those. Let's see if we have any more questions. Okay.
Yeah, we're actually giving folks some time back. So, any questions?
Okay, so if we're currently Ruckus partners, do we have to complete the training, and if so,
yeah, so
how long do we have to complete the training?
Yeah, so yes, the answer is yes. You have to complete all of the trainings. If you haven't done so already, and like I said, we'll be sending out notifications to let you know your level of compliance today, but you have 12 months, 1 year, starting October 30th to get compliant in the program. So I think actually that's a pretty generous amount of time for folks to get up to speed. We know that you're busy and you're working with other vendors as well, so the point of this exercise wasn't to make you have to, spend a lot of time in the very beginning getting compliant. We're giving you a sufficient amount of time to be able to do that so that you can continue your partnership with Ruckus.
Okay, so there's a question regarding the email address that we have right now. It's rwbigdog. Is that still going to be active?
It will likely change just because Big Dogs is no longer the name of the program, so we'll likely be changing the URL. And we will make sure that we communicate out what the new links are for getting all the program information.
Okay, so what if we're currently Ruckus and Brocade partners? Will those portal logins be reconciled?
Yes. Yeah, so the plan is that you will reset your password and the information that you've had, for example, on the classic Brocade side would transition over to the Ruckus portal with that history.
Okay. 1 second as I scroll down the questions. Thank you for all the questions. We're getting a lot of great questions. We're slightly behind on which one we've already answered. So,
and like I said, we will take the questions that are coming in and make sure that they're represented in an FAQ document. So if you have a question that doesn't get addressed today, rest assured those documents will be sent out and they will be addressed that way.
Okay, so we have been getting a lot of questions, and a lot of them I think are a little bit more specific to each partner. So what we'll do is we will definitely make a summary of all the FAQs that we've been getting, and then it will be sent out in future communications. Thank you again for joining us, and thank you, Raylan, for the announcement today. Again, all the questions that we receive, we will try to reconcile them and put it in the FAQ to be sent out with the recording as well as the PDF of the presentation. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.